Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. So for today, we're going to focus on a quiz video. So we have the Chronicles of Spira trivia quiz, and while I was looking through the quizzes, I actually came across the second part. Oh, I didn't actually click on it, but I saw that there was a quiz that was going in sequences, and I just thought, why not do those quizzes? So this will be part 1, there's going to be a part 2. I'm not sure if there was a part 3. I didn't actually quite see it while I was scrolling through. There probably is, but we'll see. The reason why I saw the Chronicles of Spira Part 2 first was because it was labeled as tough, so I wanted to cover the more tougher quizzes. But in terms of this, I think because we're following sort of a series of quizzes, then I wouldn't mind sort of covering this one first. The difficulty is average, so it's not too difficult, and the average score is 6. Considering that the difficulty is average and the score was 6, I'm actually a little bit scared. There might be a couple of questions here that could throw me off guard. Shout out to Ricochet2002 for making this quiz. It was updated just last year, so it's a relatively recent quiz, and we're gonna see how we do. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I wonder if I should make this a timed quiz. I kind of like being able to talk through it just to reason my way into answering how I answer. So at the beginning of the game, what team is Tidus playing against? The beginning of the game, so we're talking about the Zanarkand. So the Abes, the Sykes and the Goers are not from Dream Zanarkand. The Abes was the team he was in, so he must have played the Duggles because it was the only other option. Wakka's brother Chapu was a Guardian before he was killed by Sin. This is false. I believe he was a Crusader. I don't think Chapu was ever a Guardian. I don't think Chapu was a Guardian for Father Zook, nor was he a Guardian for Lady Ginham. I think he would have been too young. Who actually let Fiends lose in the Luca Stadium? So we're talking about... So when they say actually, we're talking about the true origins of the Fiends. So in that case, it would have been Seymour Guado. It was an attempt for him to get the population, or to get the audience there to sort of believe in the Yevon religion more. That way they could solidify their control and influence over them if they saw that the only way for them to be safe is through the Maesters and through Yevon itself. Orin tells Tidus that Sin is his father Jet, but actually what is it? A huge fiend, some kind of armor, Bevel's weapon against Zanarkand, just what Orin said, Jet. The wording here is a little bit off-putting because Sin is Jet. Yes, that is true. But when this person says the word actually, I guess we're talking about how we take it as a being. It's definitely not Bevel's weapon against Zanarkand because Bevel did not create Sin. Bevel created Vegnagun. Some kind of armor and a huge fiend. Now here's the thing. If we're talking about pure lore, yes, Sin was originally created as an armor for Yu Yevon, who is a parasite, a tick. I don't know if you can consider it a fiend though. I kind of want to go with like canon in terms of what Sin actually is. That it is an armor, although it could be considered a fiend. But I would go with it's an armor. Seymour knew the truth about the final summoning. I believe he did because when his mother offered herself to be transformed into Anima, I believe it was done through the final summoning ritual because the Guado had their own records of it being done. So I don't think this is something that he had gone through Unalesca. I don't think he went through the pilgrimages. But he was also shown in a memory in the Zanarkand ruins with his mother sort of comforting him as she was about to go through with the final summoning. So, but regardless, Seymour knew about the final summoning. I believe he knew the truth about it. The only reason why he didn't go through with it was because of his nihilistic views. Defeating Sin or banishing Sin using the final summoning would be counterintuitive to it, and yeah. What is the absolute final scene of Final Fantasy X? Tidus and Yuna reuniting. I believe Tidus and Yuna reuniting is the good ending for Final Fantasy X-2. Tidus swimming. Tidus and Zanarkand. That does not happen. Yuna's speech and Luca. Okay, so we know that Tidus swimming to the top happens post-credits. So you have to let the credits play out before Tidus swims up to the sea. Yuna's speech and Luca happens before the credits. So I'm wondering if when this person says absolute, are we talking about like the very end or like just before credits? If it's going to be the very end, I think absolute sounds very definitive. So I'm going to go with like the very end, and it's Tidus swimming on top and then it says like the end. It's a bit of a cliffhanger, kind of shows that there was going to be a conclusion after that, hence, like, it kind of was leading up to the events of 10-2 in a way. Even though it actually happens at the end of 10-2, so it was a little bit of a spoiler. And now on to 10-2. Oh, okay, so when they're saying Chronicles of Spira, they're not just talking about Final Fantasy X, they're also covering 10-2. Okay, that's pretty interesting. And just like last time, let's start with an easy one. Who is singing in the opening video? We never find out. Yuna, LeBlanc, Riku. We find out a little later that it was LeBlanc, although when we're looking at it with our eyes, it is Yuna. But the actual thing, it's LeBlanc. What is the most difficult of the Crimson Squad's recordings to obtain? Wait, this is so confusing. What? Which of the most difficult is the this is going to be a major guess. I don't remember nor know how to obtain any of these Crimson Spheres and reports. I'm going to take a shot and go with Crimson Sphere 8 because honestly, I don't know. I know there's one Crimson Sphere that I think it was very difficult to obtain. I just recently did a Final Fantasy X-2 gameplay. I think there's one that you couldn't obtain unless you go into like via Purifico, but I don't know if that's considered like the most difficult. But I'm gonna go that it's one of the Crimson Spheres, so it's either 8 or 3. I'm gonna go 8. How many times does Shuyan have to speak before Vegna Gun will fire? Spira is destroyed and you lose. Okay, this is funny. Somebody, I believe, I don't remember who it is. Somebody in my YouTube chat was telling me this of how many times Shuyan has to speak before it's an insta-lose. I believe he told me it was 7 times. Okay, I think he told me 8, but actually, like, if it's not 8, then it has to be 7, right? I'm gonna go with 7 times, just because, like, I thought 5, I think 4, I think just once is too short, and 4 times is too short. I also think 5 times is too short. I think it's 7. After all is said and done, does Tidus come back after all? Yes, but only to say goodbye to Yuna. No, you never see him again. No, but he is sent back to the Dream Xanarkand. Yes, the Fates send him back. Okay, this question is a bit strange because you have to be a little bit more specific, I feel like, because that's the thing with games with multiple endings, right? Like, you have to put in a condition. So it's like, are we talking the good ending, the sad ending, or like the perfect ending? So he doesn't get sent back to Dream Xanarkand. Like, that was never implied. No, you never see him again. Yes, but only to say goodbye to Yuna. Okay, so there is a scene, and it's part of I think this is the sad ending, where like an apparition of him appears and he like hugs Yuna, but then for Yuna to just kind of like say that she is okay with moving on without him, which by the way is a very sad ending. I will say, I think I had the sad ending my first time playing, and I was just devastated just having to hear her say that, and it kind of hurts. The Fate send him back is more like the good ending / perfect ending. Whether you get the good or perfect ending, he comes back. So Square Enix created an audiobook, and the audiobook kind of goes with him returning. So I kind of want to go off of that and just say that yes, that the Fates send him back. But again, people kind of argue which is considered canon, which is not. Anyway, I'm talking like a bit too much. Those are all questions. Let's see how we do. Douglas, yep. As far as we know, the Abes won 1-0, but I bet no one cared since the city was blown out of the face of the planet. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, not necessarily, because I think it gets reformed. Because it's Dream Xanarkand. You can just conjure it back. Yep, Chapu was not a guardian, it was a crusader. We got that one. It was Seymour. Okay, so it is some kind of armor. Okay, because when we talk about actually, because Sin can be considered a fiend, but in the way it was created, it's armor. Seymour did know about the final summoning. Yep. What is the absolute final scene of Final Fantasy X? It is Tidus swimming. Okay, so when they say absolute, it is actually at the very end of the game, right before the ending. So I guess 66% of players, not as many players got it right. The rest of them probably thought that it was a feat, which is, again, understandable, right? All comes down to the context clues of the question. 34%, some kind of armor, they probably thought it was a fiend. Because, again, the way it's worded can be a little bit confusing. But when we're talking about what it actually is in essence, it was created as an armor. It's not actually a fiend. You have to fight your way through Via Infinite. Oh, sorry, why did I say Via Purifico? Holy crap. Which is quite appropriately named considering the different levels seem to be infinite. Okay, I knew it was an 8. It was a Crimson something 8. I didn't know if it was Crimson Sphere or Crimson Report. I guess it's Crimson Report. How many times to shoot? Yeah, 7 times. That makes sense. I just figured 4 and 5 were just too short. And yep, if you played the game correctly and wait till after the credits, you see him return to Spira and be reunited with Yuna. Okay, so we got 9 out of 10, not bad. The only one I got wrong was this, because this was not an easy question. It's like, they were all so close to each other, and I only played the game like 3 times. So that was it for this quiz. Let me know how you guys did. I hope I did decently well for this, surprisingly, but again, it was just an average level quiz. I am going to come back with part 2 of the Chronicles of Spira, so we're going to go and hit that up. The link to this quiz will be in the description below, so if you guys played along with me, let me know how you guys did, any questions you guys struggled with, or if you guys have any quizzes you guys want me to tackle, let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out, and I will see you all soon.